Welcome back to the new stream. We are getting all the little kinks worked out, and thanks to these many live streams that we have, I get to practice. And so let's bring down Bongo Madness, bring up the live screen, and woohoo! Welcome, 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 welcome. All right. The music got there. It took a little bit. And hey, Realist, welcome back. Your question I saw before I broke down the last stream. The sun is moving northward because and I hate to say, you know, to quote Partha, but as best as I can understand it, is the globe is going to be pointing towards the sun, and it's getting closer to the sun pointing north. So the actual EMP is going to be coming from the sun, and at that point, the sun is actually going to be... How did a moth get in here? At that point, the sun is actually going to be pointing north to the North Pole. So there's going to be an alignment of the North Pole and the sun. And for those of us who keep checking magnetic north or magnetic east, that thing keeps moving around all the time. And the sun is feels stronger. Everybody has stories about the sun now. It's too strong. It's killing the trees. For one commenter last night, another commenter said that her husband got burned through his jeans by sitting in the car, and he got his legs sunburned through his jeans. So everybody is saying the sun is stronger. I can't look at the sun. Last year, one of the favorite things to do during the summer is watch the sunset here. It's just beautiful, and you have 30 to 200 people all at once just looking at the sun and watching it set. We can't do that now. Hi, Sin. Hey, who wants to be a moderator in the thread? Who wants to be a moderator in the chat? For all you veterans, and that's those of you who've been here a month or more. Realist, do you mind being a moderator for a while? All right, there you go. Because you have a blue wrench. Oregon, I don't have time right now to go into it with you. But this is not a room full of ignorant people. This is not a channel full of ignorant people. Everybody here understands the sun solstice. Oregon. Do a little bit of research yourself into what's happening now, what was happening last year, okay? I'm not an ignorant man. If I say I can't look at the sun now directly like I used to, it's because I can't look at the sun now, and nobody can. We don't do sunsets anymore. The sun's too bright to look at here in Spain, Oregon. God. All right, guys, I gotta get off the stream. I gotta go to work. Think good thoughts, say good things, and do good deeds. And I'll see you. I'll pop in when I can, but I'll definitely see you on I'll build a 1 p.m. Live stream, and we'll do the usual. There's a lot going on, and what Partha laid on us today was just breathtaking. He's the guy that's got all the answers, and it's not his answers. He's just reading the sky and reading it well. All right, guys, do well, be well, think good thoughts. And I will be seeing you throughout the day. I will be on the chat. I definitely will be on the chat throughout the day, but I just won't be as active. Epic's the same way. He won't be either. All right, guys. Peace, love, all good things. Over to you.
Yes, Charles. So
we are absolutely doing wonderful. Thank you. You know, there's all right. Martha, can you hear me?
yes, Charles, I can hear you fine.
Perfect. Why can't we? A little bit of madness here, but thank goodness we have Partha. All right, everyone. All right, everyone. All right, everyone. All right, I'm beginning to get the hang of how to do this stuff and do a little bit of production work behind the scenes, do a little experimenting and do a little training and get better and better. And that's how we do things. And that's how we don't stress, you know. When you're confident in your knowledge, then you just don't worry. It's just part of the thing. Welcome back to the Breadcrumbs Project. Here we go. Screen's up. And I have to tell you, don't worry. You know, analyze, understand what's happening, but don't worry. Number one reason you don't worry is there's nothing you can do about it. The Serenity Prayer. The Serenity Prayer is fundamental to life. When you're doing good things, you're thinking good thoughts, and you're saying good things, and It's been a while since I have said it, so um, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You really have to surrender yourself to God's peace, to the Creator's peace. Uncle Scorpion, I'm really talking to you. Stop freaking out. There's nothing you can do about it. What comes, comes. You know, do you not cross the street because you're afraid of being hit by a car? No. You build up the wisdom of what crossing the street to survive is, and then you apply it. And here we have great wisdom, and we have great counsel, especially from Partha, and he's the only person that is describing everything that's happening, and especially to my liking. Everything that he's talking about the shrinking of our magnetic shield. Been going on since the 70s. They've been studying it, so the government's been knowing something's up, and so it's shrunk, it's tightened down, shrunk and weakened to 8%, and things are going to start happening in the sky. And how does Partha know this? Because it is written all over the old religions. So what is happening is not a surprise to him. When you read the instruction book, well, you know how to put together the key of furniture. When you go through your MCSE training, Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer, well, you know everything about your laptop, your server, and most likely your cellular phone. Everything. Because you have to go through a lot of classes. You don't just take one class and you're a systems engineer with Microsoft. You don't take just one course and you are a network engineer. You have to go through many layers of training. You can do it on your own, self-taught. It's possible because the books are there. The equipment is available. That's how I did it. And I did some online courses just to back up what I was learning. But I've learned all my engineering through books and equipment, which is the way you should learn, because a teacher can only gloss through many high points. But if you take the manual of whatever you're trying to learn and you're able to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, you know everything about it. So you know, for a router, your first for a network engineer, it's routing. We do routers and switches. I won't explain to you what a switch is, but a router is basically how the internet works and the hops that it takes to get to your web page. Right now, we are talking over routers. I don't care if you're on a computer. I don't care if you're on a smartphone, on a tablet. This traffic is leaving my house here in Spain and jumping on the router that I have here at my house that interfaces with my fiber optics. So your little wireless router is what I know how to work on. But the big boys, the ones that take it from your little tiny router here at your house and then goes out to the next hop, what we call it, the next router, that's a very big piece of equipment. And then the next router is a very bigger piece of equipment because you're getting into now the bandwidth, the connectivity in between communication companies. So the company that takes the traffic from my internet service provider, it goes onto a main trunk, and then it goes to another provider and several providers that have several routers that maintain the traffic that you and I are seeing, that you're seeing me on, and I get to see what you say. But it just doesn't happen in one class. You have to go through a lot of disciplines, a lot of understandings to get there. That's what Partha's done in his life, and in his, if he's had any free time in his life between being a father, learning coding, staying up on the latest coding available, especially if you're a gaming software writer, your 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 processors are getting faster. Your video rendering device, whatever that is, whether it's a card in your computer or your Xbox, all that system hardware keeps getting upgraded, as does the firmware, the stuff that controls all the hardware. So Partha has to always keep on learning um, how to apply code in the newest ways, and what new code is there to maximize the 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 um, the gaming pleasure of whoever is buying the software that he writes, because that's all a game is just plain software. So it comes from his fingers, from his imagination, and from the inspiration that you get outside of your own being in writing code and solving problems, and being an artist, especially with the Zodiac video that we saw, and everything that Partha shows us. It is applying something. If you see it or not, it makes a difference. He sees it, and it is uh, in a level that he and I can understand. I'm sorry if you don't, but if you stay with our classes long enough, and you understand astrology, and that the prior generations are trying to communicate to the future generations through religious gesture, through sanctity of something, the sanctity of a writing, Torah, the sanctity of a writing of the New Testament, the sanctity of the writing of the Vedas, the sanctity of the writing of the Sumerian people on clay tablets, the sanctity of the writing of Egyptians, and that was carried forward, the sanctity of stone circles that were the same thing but pre-writing, which is passing on and passing on and passing on. So what what Partha has studied and what he is lecturing us on is all the past scriptures of most of the religions that are currently being practiced, and their writings, what their religions are based on. He's Indian, Roman Catholic, Greek Orthodox, Bible thumping American Southerner. I mean, that doesn't trigger anything. That doesn't ring any bells. That doesn't move his needle. As he reads the writings of Christians, that Christians follow, the New Testament, he can quickly and easily identify the astronomy that is trying to be communicated, especially in Revelations. So astronomy was really, 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 really big in ancient Judaism. Huge, huge. Everything was set by the stars, and nothing was set by a physical calendar. Every Jewish celebration is done by the calendar of the stars, not by the calendar that was written. Because for the most part, the first 1,500 years or so of Judaism, the Torah, was transmitted orally from generation to generation. So each generation's leaders and priests and then ultimately the men of each tribe had to know Torah by heart. That was part of ancient Judaism. As you were growing up, you were always learning Torah, and part of your bar mitzvah back in olden times, before written times, is you had to recite part of the Torah. Now, a young Jewish man, for his bar mitzvah, he gets up and he reads Hebrew. But 4,000 years ago, a Jewish young man that was coming into his bar mitzvah had to recite from memory Torah. So all those old traditions are breadcrumbs to what we have now. And so those old traditions, because we just have modern computers and we're so cool and modern, we have cars and airplanes, That doesn't do away with astronomy. That doesn't do away with all the old stories. And Christianity doesn't do away with Judaism. And what Partha has done and has been brave enough to do is to, yeah, he works in the modern world, but he studied the ancients well enough and devoutly enough that he can see through their eyes what they're writing and what they are seeing. So that's what's been happening with these lectures. It's going to take us a little while to get caught up. And the big event may not be the 28th. Something is happening the 28th. And the closer it gets, of course, we'll understand. Should we worry about it? No. Should we quit our jobs? Not at all. You keep doing your thing. You keep doing you. Something greater is in charge. And if they wanted to fuck us up, we'd be fucked up, y'all. I'm not lying, man. The things that we're seeing in the skies, it's not normal. The sun activity, the sun brightness, the two sets of clouds all the time, the constant haziness, the fact that a lot of people are building up static electricity and shocking themselves in countries that shouldn't be like that. Great changes are happening, and they're great, and we're going to be okay. So don't worry. Don't worry. Oh, look, somebody woke up Andrew. Good morning, Andrew. Yeah, time will tell, Uncle Scorp. Time will tell. I was wrong in my original predictions, but I was working on very little information and flawed data. Partha in India is working with voluminous amounts of data. Voluminous. He doesn't need NASA to tell him what's happening in the sky. He knows perfectly well how to look at the sky, how to read it. And so he's able to interpret what we are seeing and experiencing comfortably and easily with great credibility. It's not an interweaving story. He's just telling us what's happening and how. You got sent a new meteor video. Did you email it to me by any chance, please? Or send it the way we communicate? Self-employed builder or your own boss. You're also your own worst critic, man. I hate working for self-employed builders. Hated it. Well, this was when I was putting in telephone systems, network cabling, because they're their own worst critic. They don't have to manage people and get everything to work right. Everything they do is just detail oriented. So congratulations on doing that. Very proud of you, Epic. Yeah, man. Y'all are hard, brother. Y'all are hard. But that's how you stay employed, because somebody looks at your project and goes, oh, that is gorgeous. Who did that for you? And somebody looks at a telephone jack and goes, is that where the telephone used to go? See the difference? Yeah, man, we got to work, brother. This internet doesn't pay for itself, This all of this stuff that we work on doesn't pay for itself. So quite frankly, Andrew, your donations mean so much more, because each pound you send my way, each shilling is, each pence that you send my way is work from the sweat of your own brow, brother. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much. All right, let's catch up with the comment thread, and then I'll be back off and turn it over to Andrew, who's been working, and everything's been going going very well in the comment thread today. Realist is a new mod, and he had to thump out some trolls today. And he was like you, because this is first time modding. You know, he's putting people on silent. Andrew, he's putting on silent, silent, silent. No, pfft, dump them, dump them. We don't have time for somebody that has no wisdom and making no effort to pursue wisdom. This is not your channel. You don't come in and think you're the smartest person in the room. I am. It's my channel. I've built this channel with the help of people because they believe in what I am pursuing. They don't have to believe me. It's just my fundamental pursuit. Everybody now can be very comfortable with me being wrong because I'm not a messiah. I'm not a prophet. I'm a researcher. I'm curious. I can be entertaining, especially when it comes to cat dishes. Yeah, great mods, Doreen. Thank you for the work you've done. Yep, welcome to the squad, lad. Yeah, it's a sorting. It's a sorting. I mean, you're a builder, and of course, after you've done it a few years, you get the rhythm of what you do. But you've measured stuff wrong. You know, you've done an angle cut wrong where you're just like, fuck. You know, you just have to throw away the whole board and start anew. You know, it doesn't mean that you can't do the job. It just means you made a mistake. Sort it out, get it done. You know, stay under budget. Make sure the customer never notices that you made a mistake. You know, and that's the hard part about doing this. You know, the whole world sees what you're doing and the mistakes that you're going to make. It's the team that you build that supports you and gets you past those mistakes that can be, you know, somewhat humbling. But you keep moving forward, and that's what we're doing as a project. And how have we moved forward? God has blessed us with Partha, and oh man, what he teaches us is great. So we're going to do half-hour instruction, half-hour 40. It's hard for us to shut up. Me, you know, Partha and I get going, and it just blah 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 blah. But we have to keep it down to 40 minutes in the morning because we both have to work, and we have to clock in. He is taking his lunch hour, and you know he's taking his lunch half hour probably, and a few of his breaks to be able to make himself available to you and me. Okay, this is not anything but his own generosity that he gives us his time and his wisdom. And why do you do that? Because when you learn something and you're a good person, you want to teach it to others. When you're a bad person, you demand others' attention and you have to keep glorifying yourself with their platitudes, and you can't do anything wrong. Because once you're built on such a thin ice, a thin shell, anything that anybody does to disturb it, you just crack and fall through. But if your foundation is solid and rock solid, built on granite and knowledge like Partha's is, you can talk down to him all you want. You know, it's like later. All right. Time is it? All right. Yep, I got to start winding things up here. Any questions? Any questions? Man, epic. I didn't get a chance to catch you up on everything, but today, all morning long, I've been working on the streaming software and actually watching some instructional videos. I've been at YouTube University and found all the mistakes I was making in doing this. You know, right now we're not having any buffering problem. There's not any issues. It's not lagging. Everything is copacetic. Couldn't be happier with how it's functioning. My internet service is like, you're killing me. I'm like, I pay you to be killed, so take it. I'm on fiber, so it's not a lot, but I'm finally getting the bandwidth pushed, so you guys won't have any problems with that. Again, educate yourself in anything that you're using, you know. And what is again going back to Andrew, because I've built things and I've worked with contractors, and that's what we call builders over in the states, and with different professionals. And when you see somebody that's really good at doing something like woodwork, when you see a master craftsman, you stop everything you're doing. You're like, oh, what are you doing there? Hey, how are you doing? I'm Epic, Epic Forever. I'm working on the project over here, and I was just seeing what you were doing, and man, I've never seen that. Wow. Do you have a minute? Can I buy you a coffee? You know? So when you see a master at work, you know it, When I've worked on projects, and you get in the telecom room and you get it's usually just you and another engineer from another discipline, another company. You know, if I'm in the network room alone, that means there's a problem and I'm fixing it. And if there's something else that's going to happen in that room, usually it's adding new service, it's taking service away, it's bringing in new equipment, new features. So you're going to be working with another engineer um, all the time. It's just part of IT. Sometimes you work with good engineers. Sometimes you work with piss poor engineers because there's just not a lot of talent available. So they just had to get whatever they could to get that box in the room, and they put you on the phone with their experts, which is in another state, and then you get to talking, and you sync up, you learn some things. But when you're in a network room, a network closet, when you're in a um, um, uh, one of the large network hubs, and this is why I keep talking about it. Every time I've had to go to one of the big data centers to do work, usually a person that was there was brilliant, and I'd spend as much time talking to them, learning to them, getting on their nerves because they had so much knowledge. But when they found I was a person seeking knowledge from them, well, they were always great to share, and so it was always just a great occurrence. Again, notice that I went to the data center. I did not work in a data center. So whenever I went to a data center for whatever reason, actually I did work in a data center, our own data center. And whenever someone came in to work with us, you'd have that, all right, where's your skill sets? Where are your skill sets? Where can you help me? Where can I help you? And you get the project done. But when you have someone brilliant, man, you buy them lunch, coffees, spend as much time as you can with them because you just recognize it instantly, and you gain knowledge. If you can't gain that knowledge, and if you're a good employee or you really want to be good at your job, you either go buy books. Now that YouTube University exists, you watch YouTubes on it, and you make yourself a subject matter expert in whatever you're trying to do. But if you're somebody that's just weak in what you know and have to start fights to reinforce your knowledge rather than bring the receipts and bring wisdom, well, then you're just an aggravating piss. All right, sorry. You got my attention, Epic. Any questions that I need to answer? Did you miss anything? Oh God, yeah. Andrew, Japanese carpenters? How? How do they do what they do, man? They can make a house noisy, or they can make a house completely, utterly silent without nails. And then the feel of the environment of the room that they create. Yeah, man, I'm totally down with what you're saying. Japanese carpenters, Japanese woodworkers, and it's, of course, it's a dying art because everything's now, and fast. But the traditional houses and just being there, oh yeah, man, I just look at the woodwork and just go, anything, anybody that's a craftsman that comes out of Japan, that's done their thing, they're master craftsmen. Did we miss anything? The only thing you've missed, and you can quickly catch up on, is the Zoom call that I had with Partha. You can get it one or two ways. You can actually get the Zoom call, the lecture. It's not a call, it's a lecture from Partha as to what is happening and why. And it's roughly 40 minutes, 30 some odd minutes long. Coffee with Partha is just him and I talking. It's the Zoom conference. And then there's the live update at 5 a.m. and that's just the whole thing with the commentary. With if you want to see the whole morning meeting, the whole morning update, and that's how we're going to do things. In the mornings, it's just going to be a Partha lecture, and then we'll have a comment thread open throughout the day, and then at the end of the day. For me here at 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern, that's when we'll open up the big live stream, because we'll have everything culminated. But right now, you have to. Actually, there's not go or I recommend or anything like that. You have to go and look at the video call that I did with Partha today. The quick and dirty coffee with Partha. If you want to get the whole effect of being here in the live stream with your friends and seeing what they were saying during the live stream, then you do the live update of today. Okay? And that's how we're going forward until we need to make a change. Oh, very cool. Yeah, and if you want to, just put it on the headphones too, and treat it like a no, you can't do that because he brings up images. Yeah, after work. All right, Kathy, thank you so much. Take care. Yeah, epic. You got to watch. I mean, hey, just the way Partha is, he's riveting. He knows how to tell a story. He knows how to communicate what he's communicating, and yeah. So probably if you watch it tonight after work, and then maybe tomorrow during work, just have it on a headset. Maybe if you can. I don't know how you work, or you just need your silence and focus. Bye-bye, Kathy. Oh, cool. Thank you, Andrew. Actually, CJ, we're just making guesses. We're throwing rocks in the ocean. It really doesn't depend on anything. What's going to happen is going to happen. We all know that something is happening, and the only person that really can explain what's happening is Partha, consistently, daily. Well, CJ, that's one I could take. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the whole concept of the breadcrumbs. Is you pull together the breadcrumbs and you find the whole loaf of the truth. And Partha makes it a seven layer cake with decoration, candles, and pyrotechnics. Yeah, he's the bomb diggity. All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap my portion up here with the stream because I have another appointment in a little while. Last appointment, and then I'll jump back on, go for a walk, and then we'll do the big live stream today, and we have a lot of talking to do, but you have to watch the video first. Shit's happening, no doubt about it. Shit's happening. It's going down. We're all like, ah, la, 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 la. Partha explains what we're seeing. And like he says at the beginning of the video, he only believes what he sees and what he reads and what he has been able to verify in the past, and he's using those breadcrumbs to predict what's happening before it happens, and then we see what he predicts comes true. My predictions, I don't have any more. I'm just working on faith and friendship now because I have faith that that Partha has great knowledge and wisdom that he's accumulated, and he's shown me that he knows how to use it. So there. Sin, who's Greg Hallett? Yeah, right now, Partha, it's Partha and us. What I want you to do is whatever Greg has to say, you bring it to the community. And right now, frankly, I'm so busy on the channel, I don't have to watch, I don't have time to watch others channels, and I don't want to right now anyways. I really want to stay clean and focused on what Partha is saying, and then do my own investigations and come back as I always do and say, oh well, Partha, you're right. Thanks, Sin. And I wasn't being, I was just being me, just trying to make my overarching view of how I'm moving forward. So I haven't watched any Data 1B B4 videos. I haven't watched Against the Grain. I've just been with you guys. Yeah, CJ, I'm not sure if nobody's offended by what CJ's saying, you keep going, CJ. All right, guys. Thank you, Wayne. Hello, hello, welcome. All right, Kumar, thank you. And thank you for the nice words that you say about Partha on this channel. And you, in your own way, are always verifying what he has to say in how you read things. All right. Yes, yes, I saw what you said about the new meteor video. Hopefully, I have it on one of my. You've been able to get it to one of my accounts, and I will be looking at it. I've got a lot of emails to respond to too, and the same way that you are with all the new friends that we're getting in Facebook. And if you're not aware of it, but I think everybody is here, Epic Charles is our Facebook representation, our media presence there. And then we're on the Twitter machine, and that is Epic 4E, because I think that Twitter is a perpetual dumpster fire full of trolls and hate, and no one that really wants to learn anything. They just want to spew something. But Epic seems to be in that kind of stuff, and he seems to kind of like it. So that's his deal. I stay out of the dumpster fire as much as possible. Thank you, Andrew. We'll talk about the queue tonight. We're the only ones talking about this stuff, guys. So that's why I don't have time for trolls. I share what I share. I read what you have to say, what you bring in, and nothing that I'm presenting is original. All I'm doing is compiling. This is a true project. This is a true project. I'm a project manager by heart, and just by experience. So I'm at this point managing this project, not bringing my own ideas, working with everybody else's ideas. Capiche? Hey, Sin, thank you so much. Yeah. Work with Epic, and we can definitely find a role for you in the project. And we'll keep the channels of communication alive always. I will always try to have a chat stream running, and and we're on Facebook, we're on Twitters, and we're around the world now. So we're literally 24 hours. So there's always somebody watching our content around the world, and usually there's a chat room open for somebody to talk in, except for the wee hours. But as soon as I get up and have some coffee, because you don't want me working on a keyboard without that coffee, stuff will be messed up. You think my first few live videos were a mess? Yeah. Stupid laptop. Yeah, I taught you something. The hell did I do? So yeah, and nothing starts before coffee. But then as soon as I can get up and get going, we get the channel going. It's 5 a.m. Eastern time, so that's early. Yeah, send message Epic on the messenger machine. He's really good at the messengers machine. He likes that thing. It will be a bold catastrophe. And thank you for the wine pictures and the celebration yesterday of 2,000 subscribers, 2,000 people that are on this journey with us, and they're all over the world. So this channel is working 24/7, and people are getting good information. Why? Because as many of the commenters say, it's not available anywhere else. All right, I am. Yeah, you can do kind ones. Yeah, there's a little shine in all of that, British Irish gumptionition, and you know what I'm talking about. There's a little shine in there. Yeah, thank you so much for everything. All right, Zoran, you didn't miss anything because it is on the YouTube page. If you want to see the short version of what's happening right now, go watch Coffee with Partha. And if you want to see the long version, the whole meeting with your friends and the commentary thread and what they had to say during the whole live stream, then you can go watch the hour-long 5 a.m. update that I did this morning. But those are both posted on YouTube machines. All right, guys, I have got to get going. And so something that I get to do is play with the music now because I know what I'm doing. All right, guys, thank you so much. Okay, think good thoughts, say good things, do good deeds, do good work. Thank you for everything that everybody does. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Bye. right, all right, all right. Coming in at the top of the hour. That's right. It is your mix master DJ Breadcrumb, and I'm spinning the tunes, mixing the madness, making the awesomeness happen. This is a very sophisticated channel, people. We do it all. We have fancy, we have not so fancy, and welcome everybody. This isn't the main. This isn't the main show, but at least to do a catch up for everything and all that we're doing. Man, epic. Give no quarter, and because we ask none, you know. Come in here, you're fine, you're okay. If he comes in here under another name and acts like nothing happened, fine, yeah, like you're saying. But no, a troll is a troll, ignorant is ignorant, and we're not going to change anybody's mind here. Somebody that comes here and stays here has already had a change of mind and just is looking for new information. And if they like it, if they don't like it, you know, that's a matter of time. But no, we don't suffer fools anymore. We don't. We have enough in our real life. Definitely don't need any more. So hope everybody's doing great. DJ Breadcrumb here, and been mixing the hits, and I know everybody's been dancing, some chair dancing, some probably workplace dancing. Like my man just said, it's up to them to behave. And no, Andrew, I'm not going to charge you for the English lessons. It's up to Americans to teach the English good grammar, and you know, I do my part every day. Man, you cannot do today's live without watching Partha's show. You can't do it. I mean, he has described in detail what is happening and why. And then he lays in the spirituality, which is, if anybody's ever deja vu'd, which all of you have, and everybody talks about the, not everybody, but you know, people speak of, what's the effect? The guy from South Africa, the Mandela effect. Because I've been a student of history and a member of pop culture, I know how the Mandela effect works, and that's just pop news, pop culture injects something to society that actually did not occur. And even Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, spoke of, man, a lie will make it halfway around the world before the truth can even put its pants on in the morning. So, and I added in the morning, but it was understood back then. Realist is just practicing his grammar. Realist has been elevated from a common, well, not a common, but a member of the Breadcrumbs Project to a position of responsibility. He is now a fellow of the Crumb, and he is monitoring the chat room. He should be practicing his grammar all the time. Who wants a mod that can't exercise good grammar, Andrew? Who would want that? Who? So yeah, you have to watch. You have to. I mean, he explains everything perfectly to my satisfaction as to what's happening. I wish I'd been talking to him before I was looking at that NASA data. But, before you're ready to become a student, you got to be humbled. And, I ate my big old piece of that humble pie, thinking that we were going to have an event the 23rd. And, and, and Partha was so humble in his own way, saying, if we do, we do. I'm not here to say no. But I'm seeing some other things. We can discuss those later. He gave the project, the Breadcrumbs Project, the breadth of time that they needed for us to exercise and I'll take full responsibility, my prediction, my conclusion to my analysis, which collapsed. That whole line of inquiry absolutely collapsed. Happily. And Partha didn't have to say it, but he said, are you ready to listen now? I'm like, yeah. What you got to say? What? No, wait, what? No, I remember that. Yeah. No, what? No. Stop. Slow down. Back up a little bit and explain that. I mean, when you hit the source and you know it. And he doesn't have anything to sell me. He's from a completely different culture from me. His studies have been similar yet different. And yet he has been able to technically and scholastically establish his credibility to me. And that's why we host him here on the Breadcrumbs Project. He is a fellow of the Crumb as well. Even though he has his own very excellent YouTube channel, which I'm 3 minutes. I was gonna say 5 minutes into it, but 3 minutes into it, I have to pause. I'm like, God, my head is so full. And the way he presents it, he's not a gamer. He writes games. So he understands that a game isn't to win or lose, it's to keep the player interested, riveted, intoxicated by what happens next. It's got to be thrill, and then it's got to be reward. And it can't be too hard, and it can't be too easy. It's got to be that, Goldilocks. Humans, they love that just right bullshit, right? So life can't give it to you, but you have some controls in a game, and you have a game writer that's written a game that's dumbed down so that a human can play it. It's a dumbed down thing. That video game could kick your ass. Partha, 17 minutes into the game, you're dominating, you're doing it, and then boom, he runs code, and just everything that's opposing you just super strengthens, maximum bullets, and whatever it is, fire or whatever. That's an unsuccessful game. Yeah, the game wins, but the game also loses. That's how a good cancer works. That's how a good virus works. A good virus isn't one that kills somebody immediately. No, it'll stop at the source. It won't go anywhere. The virus can't win. The virus has to propagate, as we learned with this pandemic. I just had to and I stopped going to Facebook as often as I used to, because I have dear close friends, and I'm here in Spain, and that's how I keep in touch with my family and friends, which is great, because I don't have time to email everybody or keep close contact, and I've got a bunch of emails to do today after I get off of here. But I also want to go for a nice walk too. So much to do, so much to see, so much to say. Hi. God does play dice, and he has a sense of humor. Partha, you're right. Uh, for whoever's on the spiritual journey who seeks, you're going to find. All you have to do is seek, and you seek. And, Partha, his mind and his ability is so expanded that he would become quickly bored if God did not put breadcrumbs in popular entertainment. And you said, that is ridiculous, Charles. That is poppycock. No, because music inspires us. Music moves us. There's something about music that reverberates for us. Go back to Judaism. David, he played the lyre, and he played it beautifully, and it moved God. Music moves us. Every culture, 60s, 70s, even the early 80s, Pink Floyd just dominated because everybody that came to age, regardless of where you were in your high school, college status, when you were being young and intellectual, something about Pink Floyd, especially Dark Side of the Moon album, just gets everybody. But you have to be at the right place, the right time. Usually pot's involved. It's the way it is, man. You can't be at a sober person's frequency to appreciate Pink Floyd. You can't be drunk. It's not drunk music. It's not like, hey, buddy, let's sing some Pink Floyd, Pink Floyd is, especially Dark Side of the Moon, is just something you put headsets on and it takes you somewhere. The sound and the imagery, the words. Could those guys get together and do the same thing today? No. And they say it all in their own way, that it was lightning in a bottle. We were doing it day and night, and it was pulling all of our energies. We knew it was something special, Dark Side of the Moon, but no, we can't do that again. And so many writers, unless they're just gifted and just do it all the time because their literature and the way they twist words is so wonderful, but they have to travel all the time. They have to see new things. They have to weave new tales, and they're always taking notes. They're always taking notes to put together something. The only real writer to remain consistent and challenging and thought-evoking and able to update his writings on the fly and still be in a whole other level of understanding of humanity and royalty and science and religion. Well, that was Shakespeare. That was William Shakespeare. And for those who seek, you'll find that William Shakespeare wasn't one guy. And it was so funny, Partha, when you said today, the world is a stage. We're players. You play your part on the stage, whether you like it or not. You're on the stage. You can exit the stage, but it's permanent. You don't get to sneak off stage and then get to sneak back on. When you exit this stage, it's the exit. So, and so Partha said that. I was thinking the same thing. I couldn't wait to say that. I was like, this whole world, it's a stage. We're players. All of us, all of us actors and players, for each other and playing each other's parts. So, that was, again, another great synchronicity. So you look for that, and God creates those breadcrumbs, those pebbles, those pennies from heaven, so that Partha knows that he is on the right track. He is on the right study, and he gets rewarded. Nobody else has to know his reward because he knows the reward when he sees it. That's how game theory works. And that's the great thing too. I mean, it's such a relief that Partha understands the electrical nature of the universe. And he says, "Oh," in one of his comments, "finally, my education in my minor studies in electrical engineering is finally coming to good use." Let Shu go. If he gets any worse, the cat will be peeing on his sofa again. He knows where he's playing. He knows the risks. He knows the consequences. So Epic, let him go. Let him go. I'm sure the cat is looming about somewhere right now. Probably been drinking plenty of water all day. Hey man, we're all here trying to help. And I don't want everybody in here to agree. It's a political party. We're not a political party. We're not trying to find places of consensus. This is a study. It's not a master's level study. It's a baccalaureate level study. But we have a thesis that we are working on, ever evolving and changing. But we try to keep a singular focus. I try to keep a singular focus on any investigation that I'm doing under the moniker of Breadcrumbs Project. There's much that I'm interested in, and much that I've studied that's come into the project. It's helped establish myself and Partha's credibility. Oh, you've been waiting to throw the cup of tea in there, haven't you? Oh, you've been waiting for that one. I could feel the strike after. I was like, oh, this one's been circling for a while, hasn't he? Top, chip, chip. Off to the races. Oh yeah, you're a crafty bunch. That's the thing. When the Americans come in to fight, they have to fight. It's just, either we're not fighting or we're fighting, and that's just the American way, generally speaking. And I'm speaking in generalities right now. The British love it. The British love to. The ones that do, they have a great time. It's just waking up in the morning ready to go, and they're not going. They've done it, that line fighting and stuff. No, they're sneaky little bastards. Sneaky the Limeys are. They think in a different way, and they enjoy it, They like crafting the whole thing. That's why all the British writers are great. They craft what they do. It's not just like a car chase scene. What the fuck is that? I've seen enough car chase. I cannot watch another movie with suspense, a car chase scene, blah blah blah, ginger blah blah blah. You pick up J.R. Tolkien. You pick up C.S. Lewis. You pick up T.E. Lawrence. You lose yourself in the crafted story. You lose yourself in the well-written word. You lose yourself. Harry Potter. that the stories are so well written and the grammar is so well executed. and But it's not just the story, it's the way the sentences are written. It's a well crafted, each sentence in Harry Potter, the book, is craft. J.K. Rowling, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, let's just give a round of applause and a big thank you to my co-host and my comrade in arms in this jolly venture. I've got his back. He's got mine. He does tragically horrible cat memes. Yeah, he does. But every once in a while, he graces us with a nice wine meme or two. So, yeah, multimillionaire? Oh, she left millionaire a long time ago. Her revenue stream, she's got a B in front of that. She's a billionaire a couple times over. Yep, one big happy family. I like the sirens though, David. I get you. I feel you. Well, man, I mean, all you have to do is go to Blues Brothers. That is the ultimate car chase scene. Never gets old. Blues Brothers car chase scene with the 80 car police car pileup in Chicago never gets old. Oh, Blues Brothers. Yeah, if Disney is licensing your stuff, cha-cha-ching, 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 cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Ghostbusters was good, but the writers of Blues Brothers, the writer basically, that was Stork. That was his whole. That was everything that we saw in Blues Brothers, crafted from his mind. And there was, everybody's like, oh, that was so ad lib. That's correct. No, that was so well acted, and they were having a blast doing it. They were having an absolute. All of those actors, all those comedians, were at the height of their craft. Comedy at that point in time of Blues Brothers was just epically high. And Blues Brothers fell in that place where people had money and talent. Animal House and Blues Brothers were a peak of a unique comedy. And that unique comedy was what people call gonzo journalism, gonzo writing, and it was just, you knew it was funny, you knew it was good, you can craft it on the fly, and you knew it was going to hit. And the writers were from a magazine called National Lampoon. It was all parody. Everything that Blues Brothers is, and Animal House, and Vacation, Caddyshack. It's all parody, but it's fine, brilliant. Oh God, I want more parody. You don't mind laughing at yourself. And those were good times, man. National Lampoon, reading that magazine, right? Reading the books that those writers wrote. P.J. O'Rourke, holy crap. That's people that were crafted in the word. People that could craft a sentence. And they knew they were going to make you laugh. Because they know they're good writers, and it makes them chuckle inside when they're writing the sentence. You could say a sentence, but they think the sentence, and then they rewrite it in such a beautiful way that it ultimately has a destination that is fucking hysterical. Oh, Netflix, The Irishman is brilliant? Brother, coming from you, I'll take a look at it. Is the EMP going to happen? Absolutely. How's the EMP going to happen? As Partha described it, obviously you've not had time to watch Partha's I gotta wind this up. I gotta go outside and enjoy some of the day. You haven't watched Partha's video. Basically, what's happening, and you can kind of see it and feel it, is pretty quickly the sun's north pole, the sun and the North Pole are going to meet, as Partha sees it, and I see it happening in many different ways. But the sun is and the North Pole are going to meet. Our magnetic field has been weakening since the 1970s. NASA and JPL knew it. They've been hiding it from us. This has been released. This is not a fabrication. It's a story that we have been following, and so right now the way the Earth is moving, at some point the North Pole is going to be facing the sun, and that's when the EMP is going to hit. It's a sun-based EMP. It's not going to be anything hitting, because the sun can hit it. If anything in this solar system can generate an EMP that is going to knock out shit and not hurt anybody, that's the sun, baby. That is the sun. So maybe that's why the sun is going dormant, because it is doing its capacitor thing. It's building a charge, it's building a charge, it's building a charge, and then poof, it releases it. And we've got an EMP. It's the sun. Yep. Not me saying it, and it's not Partha saying it. It's just a shitload of writings that are saying it. And so we're really going deep on that stuff, Andrew. I'm going to get off here in 5 minutes. I'm going to close. I'm going to close this chat thread, because I want everybody to go watch the video. Go watch Coffee with Partha. That's strictly the Zoom. No bullshit. That's our Zoom meeting. I talk very little, and what I do say is witty, charming, endearing, and assistive to you, the worthy viewer. Sunflash. All right. Yeah, Andrew. You absolute 100% Sunflash. I can call it that all day long. Yes, Sunflash. Boop. All right. That's Kunwar talking. Kunwar, thank you so much. The solar event has been predicted by the Hindu scripture. Kunwar, is Hindu scripture a proper description? Please help me with that. It's not that the Q calendar stops on the 29th. The Q calendar ends. Q calendar ends. Sky event 2 years ago. The wording is everything. Flashdance, Rhoda. I get it now. I get it. You understand it, but those who are not able to speak in the language are like, Flashdance? What's that girl talking about? She must be into those 90s. Yes, mission complete. So it doesn't stop, it ends. A relationship doesn't stop, a relationship ends. A marriage doesn't stop, a marriage ends. People continue. See, Kunwar? You bring individual, not individual, credibility. You give credibility is not the word, but yes, credibility is you're coming from another angle. You've been with us for quite a while, and you're able to comfortably describe what Partha is saying. That's just how great Partha is. people can come from different trainings and say, well, hell, you're right. No, of course I never saw it that way. I don't have any way to see it that way, but you're right, yeah. But you have to have the humility to do it. A month and a half ago, I would look at Partha's stuff and I'd be like, what is this hot mess? I just had no form of entry, even though I practiced yoga and open and all that kind of stuff. I just had no form of entry into his way of thinking, presenting. Words here and there, yeah. But I had no indoctrination. When I got my face smacked on the 23rd, and thankfully I had the Creator, God, put this person to catch me when I fell, and had the humility to not even say I'm right. He's like, no, it's happened to me so much. It is egg on your head. It's egg on your face. Yes, you just have to continue. I'm like, Partha, you're awesome. I'd be like, oh man, high five me. Oh, I'm right. Partha's like, oh my goodness, no, you're fine. It's okay. Happens all the time. Age of Aquarius. It's your name. We're going into your age. You should be telling us. This is the announcement of your age. Yeah, Guru Partha. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it, Alex, Andrew. Age of Aquarius. This is your age. You're coming in. You're queued up. This is all happening for you. What do you mean 100% sure? You tell us. The awakening. Regardless, you have no choice in this. All right. Should I put my cash back into the bank? Solar, no. I wouldn't. Not until after the 29th. So much synchronicity with the 28th, guys. So many synchronicities with the 28th. All right. I am closing this thread down. Go watch the video. Make sure everybody watches the video. Please, please, please. Andrew, if you could, do you mind sharing it on Facebook and the Twitter machine for those people who haven't been in the chat, so they just can be, hey, watch this before today's live? No problem, Solar. Thank you, brother, for asking. Doesn't hurt to keep it, man. And if you're in the United States, keep your 45, if you're 50, whatever you have, your AR-15 right next to it, just so that everybody knows that who wants to come to get your cash, they're going to, they'll get close to it, and they're probably going to be ventilated. They're going to be breathing out a few holes that they're not supposed to. Just saying. All right, guys. Peace. Think good thoughts. Do good deeds. Say good things. Yep, the music's queuing up. You know what time it is. We are passing on to the live coming up. I'm getting everybody off of this so that you guys, get ready for what's coming. So look at the video, then we all can speak intelligently, and then y'all can be as amazed as I am. All right. Bye. Bye.